Hello everyone, this is Alex with Patterns for Pirates, and today we are kicking off the Kelli and Charli Dress sew-along. This was a pattern that has been requested and a sew-along that's been asked for a lot by all of you, so we are finally getting around to sewing it together throughout a 6-day period. So as always with our Patterns for Pirates sew-along, all the videos are accompanied by a blog post that I usually release every single morning during the sew-along. In that blog post you find helpful links, you find this particular video link, and information on how to join and be a part of the sew-along. I will also leave in the description below a link to the Facebook group for Made for Mermaids and Patterns for Pirates. This is where pirates hold their sew-along every other month, and the mermaids alternate with the Patterns for Pirates sew-alongs. So make sure that you're part of the group. That's also where we'll be choosing our winners from for the sew-along. We have usually 2 winners. Each will get a Patterns for Pirate or a Made for Mermaid gift cards, and sometimes a prize from our sponsor. This sew-along is actually sponsored by Millie Mae Fabrics, who has a beautiful collection of fabrics perfect for the Kelli and the Charli dresses, and they've also been kind enough to send me some of their glitter stretch velvet that you'll be seeing throughout the sew-along in use. They also will be giving our sew-along winner a gift card to their shop. Without further ado, let's get into it. Day 1 is always reserved to cutting the fabric and grabbing all necessary supplies. For this pattern you only need some elastic. I have a 1/4 of an inch elastic. You can use 3/8 of an inch for the neckline if you prefer not to do the facing. I am personally a fan of the elastic neckline instead of the facing, but if you choose to do facing you don't necessarily need elastic unless you're doing the floor length dress, just to add extra strength to the waist. But other than that you just need your regular sewing supplies and your fabric. Speaking of fabric, the pattern is drafted for knit fabric, so you have to have stretch for this pattern. There is negative ease at the bust, and so you do need fabric that stretches about 40 to 50% horizontal stretch. A vertical stretch is not mandatory, however the feel and the comfort level of the dress will depend on whether or not your fabric has vertical stretch. So I personally recommend a little bit of vertical stretch just for extra comfort. No vertical stretch would mean that it might feel a little tighter than if you were to have a little bit of vertical stretch. But work with the fabric that you have. Some cotton lycras would work well, some double brush poly. We all know I love double brush poly. Stretch velvet is my favorite for this. Stretch lace, if you're feeling wild, would be also beautiful for this pattern. Some sweater knits, athletic knit would work well. Some light to medium weight knits. Don't go too heavy, no ponte or scuba or any heavy knits, because the gather will add unnecessary and additional bulk, and you will not be happy with the result. You want some flowiness, but not too much. Like I wouldn't necessarily use bamboo or rayon spandex for this. So lean towards more medium weight. Other than that, all you need is the pattern. The pattern comes with an A4 format for our international friends. It comes in a letter format for our US friends. It has a projector file, which I'll be using in just a second. It also includes an A0 file, A0, that you can print at a copy shop. And the tutorial right now, it's separated from all the printing files. This way you can just have it open on your phone or your computer, your tablets, and you don't need to waste paper and to print that. So you can just print your pattern pieces or just project them to cut them. Let's get into cutting the fabric. Actually, before you start cutting the fabric, do measure yourself. If you're sewing for yourself or whoever the recipient is, you do need bust measurements, you need waist, you need hip measurements, and I highly encourage you to blend sizes if you need to on this pattern. In the daily blog, I do have a link to a very informative blog post that we have on the Patterns for Pirates website, where it tells you how to blend sizes. Key to blending sizes is going very smoothly when you're moving from one size to another, whether it's a larger to a smaller size or going back and forth between sizes. Do not cut straight lines to move to another side. The key is a smooth blend on your side seams or wherever you're grading. So do read up on that blog if you need help. I am right now falling into the same size, so I don't need to be blending anything. So I can consider myself one of the lucky ones. I'm also 5'5", which is the height that the patterns are drafted for. So I don't need to adjust for height or petite or tall. I also will link a blog post on how to adjust for height. So everything will be at your fingertips. Enough chit-chatting, let's get into cutting the fabric. Alright, so I have dimmed the lights, I turned on the projector, selected my percentage, and also selected the size that I need to cut. Everything is projected nicely on the table, so it is time to start cutting. I'm going to start cutting with the skirts. I do like to cut my bigger pieces first, so I will start with the skirt. For this sew along, I'm going to be doing the knee length skirt. So I will start with that, and I think I will cut from the back. So this skirt is asymmetrical on the front, so if you cut your fabric with the wrong side up, make sure that you keep cutting with the wrong side up, otherwise they will not go together well. So keep that in mind. Okay. You will also see what I do when the projection side is not big enough for the skirt. So this is the front skirt, the ruched part. I will be cutting the knee length maybe a little smidge longer, because I know Judy's length preference. It doesn't match mine, honestly, when it comes to knee length. But other than that, you'll also see me how I adjust for pattern pieces that are bigger than the projection side. So what I like to do, because I know my skirt will continue this way and it doesn't fit in the projection side, what I like to do is add a few pins that will be indicator of what to align. So right now, where it says grain line on that arrow, I'm adding a pin. This will be one indicator, and then I'm going to add a pin here where the grain line meets the skirt portion. So when I pull it, it will give me 2 points of reference. Okay. Make sure you add all your notches to the fabric when you cut it. And let's see if I have room to come from this side. I am following the cutting line, but I am going about an inch over. Just personal preference for the skirt. Okay. So now it's time to move. So what I will do, I'm going to pull my pattern a little bit so I see the other part of the skirt, And I'm going to move my fabric so my marking points are again where my pins are. So these were my marking points. I match the straight cut line at the top, and I'm going to continue cutting. There. Okay. Again, the notch here. And here. Should I keep the slit higher? I think I will. There you go. So now I have about an inch extra in length, but the slit will still be high enough. Again, personal preference. Let's move on to the other side of the skirt. And again, if I cut with my skirt high. Okay, so this was not the ruched one. This is the ruched one. Okay. Alright, so on this side, I'm going to bring my fabric, see if I have enough, and I think I do. I'm going to keep my fabric on the back with the wrong side up. And actually, before I cut, I'm going to make sure that I have enough fabric here. I think I do. Just need to go a little lower. Cutting with a projector is absolutely worth it, if you ask me. It is so helpful. Alright. Okay, so again I'm going to mark a few points because the skirt width doesn't fit in my projection area. So my first marking point will be here where the knee meets the grain line, and then I'm going to put another one right here at the grain line. And there you go. And then keep cutting. Again, I'm going to bring this about 1 inch lower. Don't tell on me. Keep my notches. Okay. And again, I'm going to pull my fabric, bring my projection. So I see these 2 points. So see, grain line. I put my pin there, and then this intersection here, and this matches as well. Beautiful. Then my notch. Okay, so both front skirts are done. Now we need the back of the skirt. Again, for my dress, I'm sewing the knee length. Okay, let's see. Back. Knee. There you go. So we need to cut 2 mirror images for the back. So for 2 mirror images, I'm going to fold my fabric right sides together like so and do one single cut. There's a back seam for the adults on the shirt as well and on the skirt, just so it fits nicely with our curves. Just want to make sure the grain line is correct and the fabric is nice and flat, both sides. And since I'm using velvet, I'm trying to cut in the same direction. I haven't checked if there's a nap on this velvet since it's stretched velvet, but I'm just trying to cut in the same direction just in case. Okay. And again, I have 1 extra inch here at the bottom. Side seam will have the notch, the back seam will not have a notch. That's how you'll know. So don't skip cutting your notches. There you go. And now we can move on to the upper part of the dress. So we're going to do the front, the back, and the sleeves. I will not cut the facing because I'm planning on adding elastic. Okay, so let's see, back, if it's enough here. I need 2 mirror images, but since I'm trying to follow the pattern, to keep the velvet going in the same direction, I need to cut without folding like so. I usually just fold, but I can't do that right now. Okay, and let's see the other back part. Oh, there's a lot of glitter here. So if you're working with glitter vinyl, if you're working with glittery velvet, and honestly any velvet will leave a little fluff residue, just have a cleaning roll close by. Ooh, that's a pretty color though. Okay. Next, the other back. Now I'm placing the back down. And now we need the two front pieces. Let's see. Okay, so if I cut my skirt with the wrong side up, just because I'm using a projector, you're going to have to cut the front pieces the same way, remember. So let's go ahead and cut. I've turned them on a 90-degree angle just so they fit in the projection area. Okay, then we have one more front piece and then the sleeves, because I am doing the sleeve option. Okay. We are almost there. The pattern has cap sleeve option, long sleeve, no sleeves, so plenty of styles included. Okay, I'm going to do I'm not cutting the facing. Should I do a cap sleeve? I don't love a cap sleeve on my arms. I think I'll do 3/4 sleeve. And in this case I can cut two at the same time. So I have my fabric right sides together, and I'm going to cut in the 3/4 sleeve. Again, make sure that you have your notches added. They will help you when you sew. If you're doing the facing, make sure you cut your facing pieces as well. If you're doing the elastic, we will add the elastic as we go, so nothing needs to be cut today. Alright, so once you finish cutting all your pieces, snap a photo of your pretty pile and post it in the day one photo comments of the sew along album. You can find the album in the Made for Mermaids and Patterns for Pirates sew along group on Facebook. And I will see you back here tomorrow when we start sewing our Kelli and Charli dresses. I'll talk to you soon. Bye!